Let me ask you something raw and direct. Why do so many of you walk into conversations and relationships like unarmed men on a battlefield? No strategy, no discipline, no self-awareness, just flailing about, hoping things will somehow fall into place. You wouldn't march into a Spartan phalanx without a shield. So why do you enter the arena of life and love without mastering the weapon of your mind? Today, we're not here to talk about fluffy optimism or feel-good affirmations. This is a boot camp, forged in the fires of Stoic philosophy and Spartan discipline, designed to rip apart the excuses, delusions, and fragile mindsets holding you back. We're diving deep into the art of attitude, self-awareness, and charisma, not for validation, but because mastering yourself is the foundation for mastering anything else. Lesson 1. Self-awareness is your shield. Imagine standing in front of a polished bronze mirror. It doesn't lie. It doesn't flatter. It reflects every scar, every blemish, every weakness. This is self-awareness. You cannot begin to improve if you don't first confront the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are. Stoicism teaches us that self-awareness is the foundation of all strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." If you don't know your tendencies, your triggers, and your flaws, you are as defenseless as a soldier without armor. Here's a modern example. Let's say you're scrolling through a dating app, seeing rejection after rejection. Do you blame the app, the women, or do you stop and reflect? Maybe your profile radiates desperation or a lack of effort. Maybe you're projecting insecurities that repel instead of attract. Self-awareness is looking at that mirror and owning what you see. Lesson 2. The battle of negative versus positive senses. Negative thoughts are like rust on a sword. Leave them unchecked, and they'll eat away at your edge until you're wielding nothing but a brittle husk. Fear, self-doubt, and jealousy. These are the enemies that corrode your charisma and presence. Now here's the kicker. You don't fight negativity by ignoring it. You fight it by recognizing it and replacing it with something stronger. Hierocles, a lesser-known Stoic, said it best: to shield another from difficulty is to rob them of their potential for greatness. But the same goes for shielding yourself from your internal struggles. Your anxieties aren't obstacles, they're training grounds. Picture this. You're on a date, and it's not going well. She's combative, dismissive, and seemingly uninterested. The untrained man would spiral into self-pity or lash out defensively. But the Stoic warrior? He stays calm, recognizes the situation for what it is, a test, and reframes it. Maybe she's testing your composure. Maybe she's had a terrible day. Either way, you stay grounded, radiating strength instead of crumbling. Lesson 3. The Spartan arsenal of charisma. Charisma isn't some mystical force you're born with. It's a skill, a weapon forged through discipline and practice. And like any weapon, it has components. Confidence is the blade. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's competence. It's knowing you've done the work to sharpen your skills and present your best self. Confidence is walking into a room like you belong there, not because you're better than anyone, but because you've earned your place. Humor as the shield. A well-timed joke is like deflecting an enemy's blow. It diffuses tension, builds rapport, and makes you memorable. But humor is a double-edged sword. Use it too often, and it becomes a crutch. Deploy it sparingly, like a Spartan spear, with precision and intent. Curiosity is the armor. Ask questions. Show genuine interest. People are drawn to those who make them feel seen and heard. But here's the twist. Don't just ask surface-level questions. Go deeper. Instead of, "What do you do for work?" try, "What inspired you to choose that path?" Curiosity is the armor that protects you from being forgettable. Lesson 4. The power of daily drills. Spartans didn't become warriors by training once a week. They drilled every day, turning weakness into strength through relentless repetition. Your mindset and charisma demand the same commitment. Dedicate at least 1 hour a day to sharpening your edge. Read books that challenge your thinking. Practice conversations with friends or colleagues, and push yourself into uncomfortable social situations. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Imagine you're at a party and you see someone you'd like to approach. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, walk up and say something simple, yet genuine. "Hi, I noticed your specific detail. What's the story behind it?" Whether it's their laugh, their outfit, or the way they carry themselves, this approach shows attention and confidence. Even if the conversation fizzles, you've gained experience. That's the drill. Lesson 5. Resilience in the face of chaos. Life is messy. People are unpredictable. Conversations don't always go as planned. But the Stoics knew that resilience isn't about controlling the chaos. It's about thriving within it. Take Xerxes and the Hellespont. When a storm destroyed his bridge, he ordered the sea to be whipped in a futile display of control. You are not Xerxes. You are a Stoic. When chaos disrupts your plans, you adapt. If a conversation takes an unexpected turn, don't panic. Pivot. Use humor, curiosity, or even silence to regain your footing. For example, if someone challenges your perspective, don't get defensive. Say, "That's an interesting point. Tell me more about how you see it." This disarms hostility and opens the door for genuine connection. Lesson 6. Self-awareness in conversation. Here's a truth most men miss. The best conversationalists are the best listeners. Self-awareness in conversation means knowing when to speak and when to shut up. After you say something, pause. Watch the other person's reaction. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Imagine a first date. You ask her about her favorite childhood memory. She shares a story about baking cookies with her grandmother. Instead of jumping in with your own memory, ask, "What was it about those moments that made them so special?" This follow-up shows you're truly engaged, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Lesson 7. The brutal truth about negative influences. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle is full of complainers, excuse makers, and energy drainers, you're sabotaging your potential. Think of your mindset as a garden. Negative influences are weeds. They choke out your growth and steal your energy. If someone in your life constantly brings drama, criticism, or toxicity, it's time to weed them out. This isn't cruelty, it's self-preservation. Replace the weeds with warriors, friends who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. If you don't have these people in your life yet, seek them out. Join groups, take classes, or attend events where ambitious, like-minded individuals gather. Brotherhood is the foundation of resilience. Lesson 8. the unstoppable momentum of a warrior's mindset. I call it the warrior's resolve, a mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities, failures into lessons, and rejection into fuel. It's not about blind positivity, it's about deliberate, disciplined action in the face of adversity. Let's say you've been rejected by a date, a job, or a friend. The warrior's resolve doesn't dwell on the pain. It analyzes the situation, extracts the lesson, and moves forward stronger. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Reframe rejection as feedback. If a woman isn't interested, ask yourself why. Was it your approach, your energy, or simply a lack of chemistry? Use that insight to improve, not to wallow. The final command: seize the moment. Young men, the clock is ticking. Every second you spend waiting, doubting, or making excuses is a second you'll never get back. The Spartan way is to act, to engage, to fight, not for perfection, but for progress. Embrace self-awareness as your shield, charisma as your weapon, and resilience as your armor. Cultivate the warrior's resolve to face life's battles with strength and grace. And remember, life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It's happening right now. So rise, step into the arena, and conquer it.